human rights is very important. But a nuclear bomb versus human rights, a nuclear bomb would take out way more than human rights. A couple, the people that are there. And so we go into World War III. They're gonna have to get those soldiers from somewhere.
Hey, welcome back to Black Press. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Now let's get to it.
Hello and welcome back to Black Press. My name is Trish.
And I am the boy, Mr. Define.
And together we are Black Press.
Black Press.
Okay, so let's get into it. So we have some good news and some bad news. Good news is it's fall, and this is my favorite season of the year. So hot girl summer is unfortunately over, but but let's get on to summer, or actually fall. Fall. I'm still in hot girl summer in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get on to fall and love and see what the world has for us.
Yeah, so my sweaters.
That fall fashion, I love it.
Yeah, hopefully I can wear them all. I got 18 sweaters.
Oh my god.
Plus ugly Christmas sweater to wear to ugly party.
Oh, I can't wait for the ugly Christmas sweater.
I think last year I might have worn like 2 or 3 sweaters. I never get through the whole rotation because we're down here in South Georgia. So
yeah, it gets hot.
You get like 3 cold days out of the whole year.
Just wear it in the morning time and then take it off at it when you get to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what's the other good news?
So other good news is we have
got the other good news, but especially for us people. Not for me. I don't really partake in it, but still the Obama stretch of presidency, but President Biden has taken actions requesting that the DOJ and the rest of the federal nation is taking away the illegalities of marijuana, or low amounts of marijuana for the whole country. So it kind of puts everybody on one broad spectrum versus this state is legal, this state is illegal, this state is not. So that's a really good thing for all of you partakers of cannabis. So that's your good news.
So that means that we're on a revolution to move and legalize marijuana.
Yeah.
For medicinal purposes and
for all the other purposes. All the other
stuff that you know.
It really don't do much for us though.
Yeah.
It's taking away or he's getting rid of all those charges for low amounts of it, but those are all misdemeanors.
Yeah.
So it's really not doing much for us. It makes everybody else feel great, but it ain't doing nothing to actually help us because we was carrying it anyway. Another bit of bad news. I know y'all not gonna like this, but enough you heard about it. But OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, to include Russia, has decided to reduce their output of petroleum by 2 million barrels. What does that mean? Prices of fuel are going back up. So if you're smart, you trade in that car for a low economy fuel saving vehicle. But that's what I did. I did that 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Dropped down to a little bit car, little 5 speed. I paid $22 for a full tank. It get me through most of my week, and the whole week if I don't do that much traffic. So there it is.
Crazy thing is that gas, it was just starting to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So it went down like a couple cents, and then like overnight, it went up like 30 cents, and it's just on a constant rise.
It's like the opposite of the weather down here, because it seemed like the weather like flipping a switch. God was like, okay, cold.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just gotta keep an eye on the gas. Might not be able to travel too much for holiday times, but near and there, just
family trips.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's funny though because a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, because Biden just went in the summer over to the Middle East to shake hands with the princes over there and all that, thinking we were gonna get more output and lower prices, and it don't really work like that. So a lot of people gonna be like, oh, what do you go over there for? But we can't control it. It's supply and demand. You know what I think about it? It's the same way, and this is how I explain stuff to my son about supply and demand. The same way PlayStation 5 only make like 10 PlayStations at a time so they can keep the price up. That's exactly what they're doing. And they try to say that they're doing it for other reasons, or they see a global recession coming and they want to drop the amount of output so they can they want more money. So best way to make more money, keep the profits up, is sell less or make less PlayStations, make less fuel. But hey, we gotta roll the punches.
Yeah. And someone always like catches the blame for that.
Exactly.
So right now we have Biden, and there's so many people blaming everything on Biden, but how much of it is his control?
Yeah.
And
Next to no.
yeah. And then so before Obama came out of office, he did say that at the end of Trump's era, he's going to destroy the economy, both the economy and everything in the United States, basically.
Yeah, it's going fast in the United States too.
Yeah.
It's on Iran, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going all over.
Iran, with their, of course, they have all these restrictions for what women can wear, and they go on through it sounds like almost a revolution.
Yeah, it's like a women's revolution, so, similar to what's going on here, but over there they don't have as much rights, so they are restricted into what they can do. So in countries like that, you take your headscarf off, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Over here, people walk outside in bonnets. That's a good thing to do, but
like it's mandatory.
Yeah. So they don't have a lot of rights and freedoms over there.
Yeah.
So it's almost like the times are moving, and with times moving, everything is changing, and people want to have some type of conformity. So when you have people that don't have rights, and they're looking at the rest of the world like everybody's doing things that individualizes them.
And they stuck in it's like they stuck on
Yeah,
pause.
it's like they're stuck. Yeah.
Stuck on pause.
So they're trying to like put their foot down, but it's kind of getting stomped on, because just like the recent thing that happened where that woman was killed for taking off her hijab.
Yeah.
So
now they up to what like 160 people killed.
Yeah. So it's constantly increasing. They even stopped like internet over there, so we're not getting like live coverage, and we don't know what's going on, boots on the ground. So everything is not very shifty.
Yeah, I think you kind of a lot of times we don't put that into context about our country, We got a lot of things we need to improve over here.
We do, definitely.
But it's not to the we ain't getting murdered for not wearing your hijab the right way on your head. I remember I was watching something on the news where they were talking to somebody that's over there in Iran, and she said that she had lost her hijab, and she was in the car, but before they made it home, her daddy received a text message saying he was gonna get fined.
Yeah, because they watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the crazy thing. So you could be out caring about your regular day, but there's eyes everywhere. I don't know how you live over there, but there's eyes everywhere. So you do something. It's just like back in the day where you walk down the road and your aunt sees you and goes back and tell your mom. But it's still like that for adults.
What they call it, the courtesy. I forgot. They call it some kind of, it's like a police force just to make sure you doing the right, wearing the right clothes. Like
it's like over here, civil police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what they call it. It's crazy. Another international news though. Somebody said something about. You got the recording. Somebody said that, of course, everything always falls back on the Democrats. Everything is on Biden or on Obama. 20 years from now, we're still going to be blaming stuff on Obama.
It's not his fault. He did the best that he could with what he had. But there is a video of a woman. She is a reporter in Iran, and she basically goes into detail where she explains that Democrats should actually care about what's going on over there. So I'm going to play a clip so you can actually hear for yourself what she has to say.
Would the Islamic Republic tell us that cover your hair properly? Just my hair. Your hair can get you killed. I actually, when you mention about the number, it just breaks my heart because they are not numbers. Look. These are teenagers.
And you were saying that the age of those who are being killed in this movement.
They're like my son's age.
Yeah.
And now the teenagers, schoolgirls, became a threat for the Islamic Republic. And we see that the whole world showing solidarity, which is beautiful. But believe me, solidarity itself is not enough. Now Iranians demand the whole world, the democratic countries, to get united and end this Islamic terror right now. Look, there was a women's march here in America. I took part because the main slogan was like, my body, my choice. I wanted them to take to the streets the same people. Where is Michelle Obama? You cannot call yourself a feminist, women's rights activist, but not saying a single word about the most prominent feminist movement in Iran. I want Michelle Obama. I want all the Democrats to see this as bipartisan issue. Do not just focus about getting nuclear deal with our murderers. I want the U.S. government to ask its own allies, the European government, to recall their ambassadors. They're killing the teenagers in Iran. I want the U.S. government to cut all the ties, ban the Islamic main propaganda to the Iranian TV, bringing their family members on TV and force them to do false confession. Some of the family member of like Nika, Shahkarami, or other people, they came on TV and they said that, we don't know who killed our daughters. We know who killed two. In 2019, there were 1,500 people got killed, but there was no investigation about that. Now the U.S. government, instead of just showing solidarity, ask the United Nations. We want an open investigation about the number of those people who got killed right now. And I mean, this is not too much to ask.
So that's a very heavy topic.
Yeah.
Like there's people, children that are over there getting killed because they're trying to stand up for each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to have a voice and speak out, but right now it's tough.
Yeah, what gets me is she wants the Democrats and like want there to be bipartisan movement to stop this from happening, but it's not that simple.
Yeah.
It's really not that simple because if when you're trying to create a nuclear deal to prevent them from having nuclear weapons, you can't. It's if I'm trying to get you to stop that, how is that going to affect me being able to stop it if I'm worried about your human rights? Human rights is very important, but a nuclear bomb versus human rights, a nuclear bomb will take out way more than human rights. A couple, the people that are there, and then it's tiered. You can't. You have to go for the thing that can cause the most damage.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they don't understand that because they only see the immediate thing that affects them. We're not thinking about nuclear weapons and stuff like that because we've been hearing about that for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not saying that it's not affecting us right now because it does, because it causes like trauma and stuff like that. But right now, the pain that's closer is the human rights.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why people are more so moving towards that. That's because they don't feel the effects from a nuclear.
Yeah.
Attack.
Yeah, they don't feel the effects, but at the same time, we gotta understand that, and that's what we have to understand in the world. But then it's going on. It's the same thing with Ukraine. We're talking about we switch from one nuclear classical issue to something that's even worse. Where today, President said that we are on the brink of Armageddon with everything that's going on with Russia making those threats that they possibly could use tactical nukes, and it's like there's some big stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's some big stuff going on, and it's a lot more stuff going on with. I mean, you look at Iran, everything that's going on there, and their attempted revolution, and then you got what's going on in Ukraine with Russia, and then you got China pretty much saying that they're gonna take Taiwan back. And why is that so important to us? Because because Biden also did one thing this past week that's that no other president has done, is took away the ambiguity. Ambiguity meaning I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but it's going to be bad. No, he went and literally said if we have to, we're going to put boots on the ground to support Taiwan. The good thing is Taiwan really just wants weapons.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, just give us what we need to fight. But that's not possible. Like, they're an island.
Yeah.
They don't have, like, China don't gotta really fight you. All they gotta do is sit on the ship outside of the island and just send them in.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't really have to. So it's like we are getting very close to the World War III.
Yeah, it's coming.
We are, and the reason that this is so important to us and in our community is because where do you think we're gonna get them people to fight?
Yeah, and then the thing about it is that we're already like struggling as a community.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Black community is weakened because of the things that go on in our community. So a lot of times, like the stuff that happens in our community, we can't see outside of our environment.
Yeah.
So our environment,
and that's what gets us in trouble too.
Yeah.
That's we're only thinking what's right in front of us. But the military they're up in numbers. Well, they're not. They're up in re-enlistments. So people are staying in the military that are in, but they're not recruiting. They're low on numbers for recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
So we go into World War III. They're gonna have to get those soldiers from somewhere. Where do you think they're gonna get them? They're gonna get them from us. The lowest, the second lowest minority now. We're not even the largest minority now. Hispanics are. Yes. Hispanics are higher than us. But we already know. Every time we get into a big war, they drafting us. Now I'm out. They can't even pull me back in if they want to.
Yeah.
My kids is not even a fighting age yet, so we gonna be good. But our people out here, y'all need to be paying attention because the things that's going on internationally, oil, battles, countries that are human rights and all that stuff, at some point in time, we're going to be affected by it.
Yeah.
So we can't just be sitting here watching the game and not knowing what's going on in the country because we will be affected by it. It's coming, and it might be coming sooner than we think.
And if you think about it, we're already affected by it. Like, there's so much things that's going on right now that we're
Wind
blind.
gas.
Yeah, that we're blind to.
Yeah.
That we don't realize that there's a recession coming. One,
Mm-hmm.
the prices of houses are increasing. The rental prices are increasing. Like, when that time comes, you have to. So the time to prepare is right now. It's not time to sit back and wonder when the next thing or next disaster is going to happen because it's coming.
You
just
know what
have to be
causes it?
prepared.
With the recession coming, do you know what really causes inflation? Us.
What do you say?
Inflation happens because we spend money on the things that we want, and then when companies that are selling these products realize that we're continuously buying it, they go up on the price. And when they go up on the price, we look at it and be like, dang, they went up on the price, but I still want it, so I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah.
So the inflation is like, so that's how all companies across the world pretty much. If you're willing to pay this much for it, we're willing to charge you this much for it. So that's how inflation goes because you keep paying, I'm gonna keep raising it. You keep paying, I'm gonna keep raising it. So now we out here spending, twice as much for a couch. When if we did just sit back and be like, nah, I'm gonna wait for that couch to go on sale. That means that product is sitting on that storeroom floor longer, which means they have no choice but to drop the price for that couch or that TV or that car. But because we as a whole community, not just black people and white people, but as a whole community, us as consumers want what we want in this country so much where we will buy it regardless of how much it is. So if we're gonna buy it regardless of how much it is, they're gonna sell it for as much as they can get. And that's how inflation happens. We can stop inflation. It don't have to be the Fed. All we have to do is be like, I'm not paying for it.
So, like, Apple, they have, like, a different tactic. They know, like, we're in a recession or, like, getting to be in a recession and prices are doubling and inflation is at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
So, when they came out with their new products, they kept it at the old price rate.
Mm-hmm.
So, they didn't increase their prices.
But it was already
right now,
super expensive.
It is, but right now, they're sold out on
Right.
their new phones.
That's my point.
So people are still.
That's the point. People's like, I want the new app. I want the new iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of, because it was already super expensive, because of the fact that they want it and it's so high, Apple never reduced what their production rate was going to be. Never did. Pandemic and everything never reduced what their output was going to be for production because they knew we were going to buy it. As long as we're going to buy it, they're going to sell it for that price. That is why we cause inflation. Because everybody got to have more. Can't have one car, got to have two. And I'm talking to myself, I have two cars, but I got to have more, I know that couch sits just fine. When I sit my butt on that couch, I ain't falling through the couch, but I need a new one because it's time to change up the look. Really?
Yeah.
How about back in the day, you thought when you got a new couch, grandma just pulled the plastic off of it. like a whole new couch.
Oh, well, so in the black community, okay, we like to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
We like new things. We like to be fancy. We like to.
We like what we like.
Well,
We ain't willing to change for nobody.
yeah. So, and speaking of that, how do you think the black community does with inflation